Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury. This is the part of Let's Talk where we review the stories of the great Ray Bradbury. I have a collection of 100 Ray Bradbury stories before me, and I'm going to review them all here for you, one at a time until we finish, probably sometime later this year, maybe early next year. We are nearly halfway there, but not quite. So let's get things started today with Hopscotch, which comes from his 1996 collection, Quicker Than the Eye. In the pre-dawn hours of summer, Vinia awakes to a little boy from down the street named James Conway on her lawn. He says that he's starting his day early and that he would like her to go for a walk with him. So they go on out, but they pass on the sidewalk a giant hopscotch board that was put there by the neighborhood kids earlier that day, and it goes on and on and on around the corners, sort of seemingly never ending. They follow it down the street and out of town. The sun comes up. They explore a field with all of its smells and textures and colors. They walk into the forest. They wade their tired feet in a cold creek. They eat wild grapes. They watch bees return to the hive, buzzing and fluttering as a summer rainstorm comes in and chills them to the bone. During this process, young Charlie asks Vinia if he can perhaps give her a kiss if she didn't mind too much. She says she doesn't know yet, but she promised to let him know later. Eventually, they do kiss. The storm passes, and as they're walking home, Charlie wonders if perhaps this was the beginning of something greater. They were just young, but would one day they be married? Would they fall in love? And would they have a life together? Vinia does not know. That night, she goes to bed and she remembers the day, the scents and smells and tastes still on her lips. And she goes out and she starts playing on the hopscotch board, eventually stopping on the number 17 before the story ends. This little story is absolutely beautiful. Has a dreamlike quality. I thought that perhaps the whole thing would be a dream, but in fact it does indicate in the first paragraph that she woke up rather than falling asleep. But I imagine it's quite in a similar way to like how the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, remember that film? How that looked, where everything was just super vivid, everything looks like an oil painting in real life. And the language really conveys this nicely. One passage that I like from the story, there was a smell of hot chalk highway, of dust and sky waters flowing into a creek the color of grapes. The sun was a new lemon. The forest lay ahead with shadows stirring like a million birds under each tree, each bird a leaf darkness trembling. And it goes on and on like that. Just very vivid, interesting language. It's sort of like the equivalent of maybe like a Picasso painting. And I also... for some reason, it popped into my head. There's an episode of The Simpsons. Probably came out about the same time as this story in the mid-90s. It's the one where Homer, he goes to the chili eating contest. He eats those really violently hot peppers, and he has a hallucination and goes like on a vision quest, and he meets the voice of Johnny Cash in a rabid red fox. All that shit. But it very much reminds me of that sort of absurd, hyper-real... acid trip, hallucination, fantasy type thing, but totally in a good way. And it clearly, for the character, this marked a sort of a unique point in her life and became sort of like a touchstone for her in years to come. But I love the central metaphor of the hopscotch board sort of as a device for sort of conveying the stages of life. I almost imagine it's as almost like a time machine, and each square you step onto could take you to a moment in your life. And for Vinia, this was obviously a very important moment that she did not expect to have. It'd be very interesting to know what happened to her and to little James Conway, because it's a good little tale that deserves to be fleshed out further. Not sure if Bradbury ever did that. Probably not, but we're going to keep reading these stories and find out. So, have you read Hopscotch by Ray Bradbury from his 1996 collection, Quicker Than the Eye? If you have not, I suggest finding yourself a copy, because it is a good little tale worth reading, worth your time. I'm definitely going to revisit this one in years to come. So please give this video a thumbs up. Maybe drop a positive comment below. No assholes allowed. Subscribe to our channel and check back soon for more Ray Bradbury reviews. And once this project is over, I'm going to find another author to delve into deeply. Prior to this project, I actually did about a whole year of just H.P. Lovecraft. So right now it's Bradbury, but something else is going to be coming up down the road for you as well if Bradbury and Lovecraft are not your cup of tea. But I don't see why you should dislike either of them because they are two of the absolute masters. All right, guys, see you later.